Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I last uploaded a video, but I decided today to do a sort of tablet comparison video. I have 4 tablets and I'm only using one of them these days. I bought this many tablets because I didn't like any of them, so I kept buying new ones until I found one that suited me. And I think by now I have successfully found one that meets, I guess, the majority of my requirements. I mean, nothing is perfect, but it's very close to being what I was looking for. So I felt like I would share that with the rest of you guys so that you don't have to waste your money in the same way that I had to waste mine. So, anyway, without any further ado, let me introduce the tablets that I'm going to talk about. The first one is this one from Huion. It is the, I don't remember what it's called, HS64. So, you can see the name here. I guess it's not really focusing, but anyway, here's the name. And as you can tell, it's a quite small tablet. The next one, I'm going to talk about them more in depth, but anyway, I'm just introducing them now. The next one is this one from Wacom, the one by Wacom. It's like one of the cheaper ones, if not the cheapest one in their lineup, and it's approximately, as you can see, the same size of, like the same size as the Huion, except, you know, the dimensions are different, but it's like if you were to cut off the side and put it up here, it would be approximately the same size, approximately. And then the next one is also one from Huion. It's the Inspiroy, I think it's called 1060P, as far as I remember. Yes, 1060P. And it's a lot bigger than the other two that I just mentioned. And then the last one is the one that I've done a review of on this channel, which is this one, the dial one, the Inspiroy dial, Q620M. So that is that. Without any further ado, let me just talk a little bit about the tablets and zoom in a bit here. So the first two are the biggest ones here. They're approximately the same size as you can see, but this one, it has a lot bigger footprint. Even though they appear to be approximately the same size, this one feels a lot bigger and a lot heftier because it has these like bezels that don't really serve any purpose like out in the side here, and it's way thicker too. So just overall, it feels like, well, actually it's not that much thicker. It's a little bit thicker. It just feels a lot more hefty, but not in a good hefty way, in like a older technology kind of hefty way, whereas this one is a little bit more refined because the design is newer. So wait, how should I do this? Yeah, I guess that is like the overall physical footprint. And yeah, it has like, this one has the buttons and the dial, this one has these physical buttons, and then it has like non-physical buttons here. And then for the smaller ones, this one doesn't have any buttons at all. And this one has the 4 buttons here that I've never actually used, but they exist. So yeah. Obviously, the 2 bigger ones have a lot larger drawing surface areas than the smaller ones. That's kind of, kind of goes without saying, but I said it anyway. And all of them can be powered by a USB, either USB-C or micro USB cord, but like on top of that, this one also has wireless functionality, which I personally really like, but yeah, that's it does. The other ones don't. You have to have it plugged in order to use it. The pens. Yeah, let me talk a little bit about the pens. So the pens for the 3 Huion ones, I think they're not the same, but they're very similar. So this is the one for the dial, and this is the one for the small one. As you can see, this is the one I've used the most. So the plastic has like flapped open, which is kind of unattractive, but it is what it is. The feel is more or less the same. This plastic feels a little bit less slick, but as I said, I've used this one a ton, so that might also be why. The pen for this one, wait, let me put this box away. So the pen for this one is the same as the pen for this one, so you can use them interchangeably. And this pen also actually works on this tablet if you want to really mix and match. But anyway, I don't think anyone is going to have this many tablets and mess around like that, except for me because I'm an idiot. But that is besides the point. The thing that I want to talk about mainly, I guess, is the functionality and how they compare to each other, although I've already rambled for 5 minutes about the specs. But anyway, so maybe I should just... Okay, long story short, the tablet that I'm using the most and the one that I like the best is this one. I've been using it a ton, and I don't remember when I got it. I think I got it like 1 or 2 months ago. I don't really have a good concept of time, but I think maybe 2 months ago. And I've been using it pretty much every day since. The reason why I like this one the best, which is kind of funny because it's the cheapest one, just to mention the price here. I think I got this one secondhand but new in box, so I paid 88 renminbi for it, which is super cheap. It's like $15, something like that. And yeah, obviously it was because it was used. Normally it's not that cheap, but this is definitely the cheapest out of, I think, all of them actually. And it's the one I like the best. So if anyone's short on cash or whatever and they want a tablet that's good, then I would personally recommend this one. I mean, the other ones probably have maybe better tech inside. I don't even know, but I just like this one the best. Why? Because it's I feel like it's more pressure sensitive and it's more responsive than the other ones. The initial activation force is lower for this one, so I don't need to press as hard, but it still picks up on the lines. And a major important fact for me is that the drawing surface area and the overall footprint is small, so it doesn't take up a lot of space on my desk. I hate things that create unnecessary bulk, and I feel like these two definitely did that when I was using them, especially this one because it can't be used wirelessly. So even when I wasn't using it, I still found it like cumbersome and in the way because I couldn't just move it to the side. This one, when I was using it wirelessly, I could just put it on the floor and then, free up the space. But because this one is connected via micro USB, plugging it like in and out is kind of bothersome, and it's also not good for the plug to constantly every single day be plugged in and out multiple times. So yeah, that really annoyed me with this one, the big overall footprint. Also, I do not like big drawing surfaces or big drawing areas. I know people are like, draw from your arm and blah, 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 the elbow. Yeah, that's not really applicable to all drawing situations. That's mainly for painting. If you're rendering something super small and detailed, you don't need to use your entire arm and elbow. Like, if you're inking something and it's like an eye, you're probably maybe not going to be moving your entire body around. So, like, a big drawing area, big drawing surface. I feel like everyone in the reviews are always like, recommending that, oh, you need such a big drawing surface area, blah, blah, blah. Why though? Why? I don't like that. I like the smaller ones better. So I will, basically, like, if I were to recommend a tablet to someone with my own drawing preferences, then I would recommend a smaller one. However, if you like to draw big, I'm not saying drawing big is bad or anything like that. I'm just saying, everyone is saying a bigger, like drawing on a bigger drawing surface is better. And it's not. What's better is what works for you. So yeah. Anyway, I kind of lost my train of thought because I distracted myself. So that's wonderful. Anyway, yeah, that annoyed me about this tablet and also this one. Again, I felt like it was unnecessary bulk. It's also because I don't need this big drawing surface. So when I was using the tablet, I went into the settings and sort of sectioned off an active area. So the area outside the little zone that I had sectioned off became inactive, right? So you can't draw on this outside area. However, the little drawing area, like that, remains the only one that you can use to draw on. And I like it like that. But if you're drawing on this kind of small area, then what is all of this tablet bulk doing? Like, it's just taking up space on your desk. And that really annoyed me, which is why I kept, buying new tablets until I found one that I like. Now, when I bought the two smaller ones, or I started with this one and then I bought this one at the end, right? Because this is the one that I like. and I stopped buying tablets once I found this one. Anyway, when I bought this one, I thought that that was it. Like, I don't need the buttons, and it's very small, it's very compact, and it's Wacom, so it has like a good reputation, blah, blah, blah. I thought this was gonna be it, but it was not. This one is the one I like the least, to be honest. The drawing experience is not very good. The surface, when you touch it with your hand, I can't feel any difference really. But when you're drawing on it, it's very scratchy. And it made this like stupid scratchy noise that I didn't like. On top of that, I'm trying to get the pen out here. On top of that, the pen for this tablet is absolutely just the worst. It's like the bottom line, like the worst bottom of the pile from Wacom. It's just a hard plastic stylus. It has no give to it, which I thought would be fine, but the fact that it's so small, like it's smaller than my hand, just to compare to the one that I like now. You know, it's so small. And when I was using this tablet for, how long did I use it for? Maybe 6 hours or something like that in one day. My hand was just cramping up. I've never had cramps in my hands before from drawing, because I mean I have a very light grip. I don't like clutch the pen or anything like that. I hold it very lightly so I can just, go on forever because I'm not straining my hand. But because it was so short, I was like angling my hand weird. Like, I don't know how to really explain it. And it was something that I hadn't really experienced before either. But when I tried to draw, I was like missing this gap because I tried to sort of fit the pen into my hand in my normal grip, but because it's so short, it didn't meet the tablet. So I was like angling my hand, I guess, a little bit more than what was comfortable. But then if I angle it down further, like the buttons don't line up. I never use the buttons, but it's molded to fit your hand in a certain way. So if you move it up and down, I guess it's weird. I don't know how to explain it. It just didn't work. And then whenever I would move back to like a normal tablet pen, everything was totally fine. Like, I could hold it like a normal person. So I realized, okay, it's not me who has gone crazy all of a sudden. It is actually the pen that just doesn't fit my hand. I guess if you have super small hands, then maybe it's fine. Like, then maybe this is going to be comfortable. I don't know. But for me personally, this pen was absolutely horrible. And the drawing experience of this sort of combination, for someone who has to draw more than like 30 minutes and just want to play around a little bit, for me was very abysmal. Like, I mean, I got a cramp in my hand, and I got this weird pain also in my elbow. I don't know if it was like tennis elbow or whatever. I've had it once before because I put my laptop on like a laptop stand and tried to use the keyboard like several years ago, and that's not recommended. Like, that was a stupid idea, but anyway, I got a pain in my elbow then, and it just like transferred all the way down, like whatever's going on here in the nerves and sinewy stuff, whatever. And that was happening again when I was using this. And if you're trying to either improve your art or you're working as a professional or whatever, like any sort of situation where you have to put in a lot of hours drawing, getting pain from drawing for like 5 hours, 6 hours is probably not a good idea, because you're going to have to be doing it the following day. And once you've hurt your body, it becomes like worse and worse the more, problems you sort of build on top of the pre-existing problems. So like, try to not destroy your tablet with bad equipment. So yeah, that made me really dislike this tablet. Also, the responsiveness is just not very good. Like, this is very, very much, in my opinion, a bottom of the pile tablet when it comes to drawing, and I would not recommend it. And I actually like Wacom, but I just don't like this. I definitely do not recommend it, like 0 stars, like -1 star, because it hurt my arm. So negative stars for that one. The other ones, honestly, depending on the person, I might or might not recommend this tablet. Like, if you draw really big, if you love drawing big, and if you have sort of a heavy hand, then this tablet might be too small and too, like, well, if you have a heavy hand, then the initial activation force is less of an issue, I would say. So that makes this one a little bit less relevant. If you like to draw big and if you have sort of a heavy hand, I would probably recommend one of these two. I think personally the drawing experience on this one was better than on this one, which is a shame because this one is newer. This one was a lot more sensitive when I was drawing on it. It picked up the lines a lot easier. The initial activation force was lower. Like if I could take the technology from this one and put it into this one and make it wireless, that would be my dream tablet. And if I could add the dial to this one too and remove these buttons, then that would be like the perfect tablet for me. So if anyone's listening out there, Huion, if you make this tablet, I will definitely buy it. So yeah, but that that was like a side note. But honestly, if you draw a little bit heavy-handed, I guess, and if you don't mind the overall footprint, I would recommend either of these two. If you have a light hand but you don't mind the large footprint and you like to draw big, okay, so regardless of whether, okay, how should I word this? Light or heavy hand, likes to draw big, don't care about space, I recommend this one. Heavy hand, don't care about space, draws big, this one. Light or heavy hand, likes a small drawing surface or drawing area, and cares about the space in general, then I would recommend this one. Obviously for buttons, if you like to have hotkeys programmed, then, I mean, pick the one with the most hotkeys, right? But yeah, I think that's, I don't know if this comparison makes sense. Like, I feel like I've said a lot of stuff. I tried to summarize it up here at the end, but I'm sure there is some stuff that I did not mention. The performance of the pens, I'm sure this one, so as I said, the black one, can you see the difference in the camera? Yeah, this one is gray, this one's black, right? The black one is obviously the slightly higher end pen. It has like the little silver here and you can just feel the materials are better. Also, it's a little bit longer, like very, very little bit, but it is a little bit longer. This one came with this tablet because that's the most like premium, I guess, combination of all of the ones I bought. And yeah, this came with this. The pens, they kind of perform similarly, I would say. I feel like this one that came with the premium tablet is more springy in the nib. So when you like press it against the surface, it sort of goes in more. Whereas this one is a little bit less springy and it goes in sort of like, it retracts a little bit less into the body. I prefer it retracting less. So that's, I guess, another vote for the cheaper combination. But yeah, I guess if you have a heavy hand, you're gonna have it pressed in most of the time, I presume. So it won't make a difference. Honestly, I think this set, for someone who presses down hard, who has a lot of desk space, this one is the best because this is also like newer. It has USB-C instead of micro USB, and USB-C is obviously better. Like micro USB is annoying, and it has wireless. So honestly, if you press down hard, you like a big drawing surface, get this one. But yeah, if you don't, then I honestly think this small combination, like the mini little tablet here and this one, it's great. Like, I was so happy when I found this. I would have paid more for it. Like, it was just a miracle from the tablet gods that I was able to find exactly the tablet that I was looking for such a low price. The funny thing is, this tablet with this pen is not actually available in China, even though it's a Chinese brand, obviously. So, I don't know. I guess it's for their overseas export thing. I don't know. But yeah, so when I got it, I couldn't find it in like the real Huion official store, so that's why I bought it secondhand. But then it was new in the box, so I don't know how the person who sold it has, gotten hold of it. Maybe it was like a promotional gift from the factory, or maybe he swiped it, or maybe he got it from a friend who bought it overseas. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know how this tablet came to be, but it did. They do sell the tablet here. They just don't. It doesn't come with this pen, I think, or I don't really know. Anyway, The fact that I got it for less money, like that I got it so cheap, makes it kind of even better for me because it was like so cheap and then it was just like awesome. But that was a lot of rambling. Um, but I would be willing to pay full price for it. I don't remember what the full price is, maybe $50 or something like that. Uh, I would definitely buy that. And I'm kind of like, I'm always looking for more because I'm worried that it's gonna break on me, and I want like a backup tablet in case it breaks. It doesn't show any signs of breaking or anything like that. Like the build quality is very good. It's quite sturdy, and I mean it's a tablet, so it's mostly just gonna lie on my desk anyway. But yeah, I think that is it for this. Not really review, but just me rambling about tablets. I often find that it's hard to compare when you're looking at so many different models, and I wanted to summarize some of the things that I feel like make these tablets stand out in their own way, because otherwise it's kind of gonna look the same when you just look at the website, I guess. Also, when they put that they have like 2056 or whatever levels of pressure sensitivity, or like 4,000, 8,000. I personally think that anything beyond like 1,000, you can't feel it in your hand. It's just numbers. Same as like when you buy a camera and it's like 25 megapixel, 50 megapixel, but you're going to post the images on Instagram anyway, so you can't even see the difference. Only if you zoom in to 100% and like really pixel peep, then you're maybe going to be able to see a difference. But I feel like it's that sort of thing where they're just using it as a promotional tool. Like mentioning the levels of pressure is just a promotional tool, and it makes people think like, oh yeah, higher levels and more numbers and higher numbers and blah blah blah. This is definitely going to be better, but actually you can't feel a difference. And the levels of pressure sensitivity does not translate into the um, initial activation force. So even if they have 8,000 levels of pressure, whatever, you might still have to press down hard in order to get the first mark to register on the tablet. And that sort of defeats the purpose of all the sensitivity. If all the sensitivity is in the higher range and there's nothing in the lower range, meaning like you're pressing very lightly and nothing registers because they didn't put any of the sensitivity in that, in that range, then what's the point if you have like 7,000 levels when you're like really just like hammering the stylus into the tablet, but you never do that? Then what is the point? You're never going to reach those levels anyway. That's kind of just me rambling about that, but I think that is important to notice because at first I also kind of got not confused, but just kind of like, oh yeah, it must be better when it has a higher level. But then I felt like I can't feel the difference. Like, what are these numbers? And then I looked into it a little bit further, and I really just think it's a promotional tool. But maybe that's how the world works, just putting up more numbers and hoping that it confuses the customers and makes them buy the most expensive one. But here I am recommending the cheapest one. So do with that information what you want. Anyway, I've rambled now for 23 minutes. I wonder how much I can edit out. I probably won't edit out a whole lot. I'm just going to put timestamps down in the description box because I am lazy and I haven't updated this channel in forever. And the more work I pile upon myself, the less work I actually end up doing. So there is that little nugget of self-insight. So yeah, I'll probably just put timestamps. Sorry to those of you who actually sat through this entire ordeal. And also thank you for watching. And if you really got this far, then I'm very impressed. Leave a comment down below and say that you made it to the end. And yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you feel so inclined. And have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.